How's it going, Giants fans? My name is Alex, and my co-host here, Anthony Rivardo, discussing Kayvon Thibodeaux today and really what he showed against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 6. He was absolutely dominant. He's showed off his speed, his power, his ability to set the edge in the run game. Altogether, I mean, he came up in some big moments. We've been waiting for a pass rusher of this magnitude to come up in big moments for quite some time. Kayvon Thibodeaux said he's before the season even began, he said, I want to be the guy that shows up in the fourth quarter. I want to be the closer. Like the Mariano Rivera of the Giants. And I think that's awesome, right? Like, this is a guy who has all the talent in the world. He's got the charisma. He cares a ton. The guy was crying after the game. Some people from other fan bases were making fun of him. I think it just shows how much he cares about winning here and playing in front of us, the fans who, support him every single day. And obviously all those pre-draft bullshit narratives are now looking really dumb. And I think that, it's fair to say that we can look past those in the future too, unless there's hardcore evidence of something. But people were just saying he didn't care, and didn't, give a crap about what was going on in the game, and that's just nonsense. And we're seeing that first and foremost, firsthand. He's looked tremendous the last couple weeks, and we'll talk about his numbers, and then we're going to dive into his pass rush sets against the Baltimore Ravens, kind of react to those, and just kind of look at his speed and power and the combination of what those things can do for him in terms of winning those pass rush sets and making an impact, especially late in the game. But Anthony, before we dive into his numbers, how he's performed since starting his career off as a New York Giant, how do you do today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Really excited to dive into the tape on Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux, of course, 5th overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft, and what an exciting draft pick that was. We, of course, did our live stream during the draft, and we were hyped. We did our reaction videos, and we were just thrilled to see Kayvon Thibodeaux's name get called at the 5th overall pick. And, of course, injury in the preseason, misses the first few games of the year. It's kind of a shaky start, but he's really been ramping his way up. Through the first 3 games that he's played, I feel like he's gotten better and better with every single snap, culminating in that game-winning strip sack versus the Baltimore Ravens. And I thought that he played excellent on Sunday. I just saw that play coming for some reason. The way he was standing on the line of scrimmage over that right tackle, I was like, I think he's going to get a sack right here. I was sitting with a friend watching. I'm like, this is going to be a sack. Giants are going to win with a sack from Kayvon Thibodeaux. Then he got it, and then it was a fumble as well, and I just lost my freaking mind. What a way for him to get his first career sack in the NFL. Truly a spectacular moment, a play that legends are made from. So I'm really excited to dive into this Kayvon Thibodeaux tape. I'm super excited to watch him for the rest of the year, and man, I really think that we have something special in Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Me too. I mean, this rookie draft class, I know a couple of them already got injured for the season, but the first round picks seemingly are developing quite nicely in Thibodeaux and Evan Neal, who are, staples, foundational building blocks for the future. And to give you guys an idea of what his numbers look like over the past 4 weeks since he started against the Dallas Cowboys, he has 12 total pressures, a sack, a quarterback hit, 10 hurries, 7 total tackles, 6 stops in the run game, and 2 batted passes. And the last 2 games specifically, he's really made an impact in a multitude of ways, right? Against Green Bay, he had that batted pass on 3rd and 2 to end the game. Obviously forced that 4th and 2, incompletion by Rodgers. Xavier McKinney batted that pass away. And Thibodeaux got right in the face of Rodgers. That ball hits him in the head because of how close he gets, right? That doesn't happen unless he showcases that strength, power, and desire to get to the quarterback. And then last week, the strip sack to end the game. Giants waste out the clock, get their 5th win of the season against a very, very good Baltimore team, winning in the NFL power rankings. Green Bay was ranked 4th, and the Baltimore Ravens ranked 5th. They knock off the 4th team, they knock off the 5th team, and suddenly the Giants find themselves all the way at number 5 in the power rankings. And I'll tell you what, did not expect to get to this point so early in the rebuild. But hey, I'm here for it. I'm excited. And Kayvon Thibodeaux has made a tremendous impact. 7 pressures over his last 2 games, a sack, and 6 hurries, and a couple of tackles to boot, plus 4 stops in the run game. He had a really good day in terms of, run defense against Green Bay. Not as good against Baltimore, but did the job, got the job done. Stopping Lamar Jackson is impossible. So I'm not really expecting anyone to grade out well on the running game side of things against Lamar, and J.K. Dobbins, and even Kenyon Drake had a hell of a day. So I'm excited to see, but what are your thoughts about Kayvon Thibodeaux coming up in big moments, right? Like that's the big thing for me, is that, it's different if a player's, they're coming up early in the game, they kind of disappear and this and that, but Kayvon Thibodeaux tends to build into games. He gets better as the game goes on. And some of his biggest games in college came against some of the best teams that they were facing when he was with Oregon. So I really tend to think that a player that can show up in those big moments, it just means he's built for New York, man. He's built for the spotlight. He's built for those high intensity, high leverage situations. And that's why we're starting to call him the closer. I think that maybe that might be his new nickname if he keeps doing things like this. And I'm really excited to see his growth. But, what are your thoughts about him coming up in those big moments?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned how he was built. Kayvon Thibodeaux, simply put, is built different, and he's a lot of fun to watch. And he is a closer, and he is kind of that guy, Kayvon the closer. I like that nickname that you just kind of came up with. That's really good. But I think that it just kind of shows what I said earlier. This is the stuff that legends are made of. When you're looking at all of the greatest players of all time, they have that marquee moment that sprung their breakout, and it's usually some late fourth quarter game-winning play, right? I mean, look at Eli Manning, his signature play, the game-winning touchdown pass against the Denver Broncos in his rookie season, and then he started to pick it up more the weeks following and into year two. So you always look back on players' careers and you find that marquee moment. For Kayvon Thibodeaux, it could be his first career sack, the third game of his career against the Baltimore Ravens, game-winning strip sack. That's a marquee moment, and that's a fourth quarter. That's something that sticks with you. It's not some sack that was on like a 3rd and 20, and then they sacked them again on, in the middle of the second quarter. It wasn't that. This was, you need to put up or shut up. The Giants needed to make a play, and they counted on Kayvon Thibodeaux to be that closer to make that play. And again, that's just an iconic moment. That's one of those things that tells you, like, this is a special talent. He rises to the big occasions. There's a lot of players that can't rise to those occasions, that get in those situations and they kind of just fizzle out, or they're kind of just going with the flow. They don't stand out. But Kayvon Thibodeaux has stood out in the fourth quarter and on more than one occasion already. And I think that's really, really exciting just to know that we have that guy. I mean, when you think back to those Giants Super Bowl teams, when Justin Tuck and Jason Pierre-Paul and Osi Umenyiora were getting after the quarterback together, the reason they were so special is because they were getting after the quarterback on third downs in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Giants need to make a stop, and you can count on Osi Umenyiora to run around the edge and strip sack a quarterback. That's how it was back then. And that's kind of what I'm hoping that the Giants are building right now, with the pairing of Kayvon Thibodeaux along with Azeez Ojulari. And Jahad Ward is also a pretty capable pass rusher as well. But Kayvon Thibodeaux, man, he has that clutch factor, that clutch gene, that ability to make plays late in the game to win the game for his team. And I think that's really what's going to stand out the most as the season progresses and as his rookie season continues to develop here, is how many plays does he make in that fourth quarter, and how legendary does his rookie season become because of those plays.
Absolutely. With that being said, let's take a look at the film here, jump into his pass blocking or his pass reps. And ultimately, this guy is fast. Like, you watch him on the film, he is so freaking fast. He gets off the line of scrimmage quickly. His eyes are always on that football, man. He knows. And at the same time, when you're playing a guy like Lamar, you always have to be laser focused on where that football is going. You don't know if it's going to be going to a running back. You don't know if he's going to take it on an RPO. You don't know if he's going to play action it or throw it downfield. You always got to be laser focused. He has his eyes just focused on that center, making sure he knows where that ball is. You can see on the other side, Jihad Ward, he's focused on where the the right tackle is, and Kayvon Thibodeaux's looking where that ball is. So it's interesting to see kind of the focus. And I mean, you can tell it's a quick throw by Lamar. The pocket's closing quickly all day. The Giants really got a really good pass rush. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeaux, that right side of the pocket, well, left side of the offensive line is collapsing fast. The right side, it's okay. There's some space there, but that left side, man, Leo, Kayvon Thibodeaux, and Dexter Lawrence, man, there's no stopping them in 1v1 situations. There's no stopping them. You can see how quickly that ball has to come out, and he just throws a little quick, just a little hook route to Mark Andrews in the middle there.
Yeah, again, a lot of quick throws from Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense. When the play was developing for a while, you're seeing these guys get through. Like on this play, Lamar Jackson holding the ball a little bit longer, and he's getting pressured by Leonard Williams. Or, you can see Kayvon Thibodeaux almost had a lane there.
Contain almost.
Yeah, they did play a lot of contain on Lamar Jackson, but circle back to my original point, there was a lot of quick passes in this game, and that's because the Baltimore Ravens had to respect the pass rush of the New York Giants, had to respect the blitzing from Wink Martindale. I mean, Wink Martindale threw out some insane blitz packages. I know there's one that's going viral on Twitter right now where Dexter Lawrence was playing inside linebacker basically as a blitzer. Just crazy. Wink was so deep in his bag, but you're going to see a lot of quick passes in this film because Kayvon Thibodeaux was getting after the quarterback. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, they were getting after the quarterback. Lamar Jackson had to get rid of the ball quickly to ensure that he wasn't going to get pressured, a throw disrupted, or even sacked. So I think you're going to see that quite a bit, and I think that Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to be the player that's pushing the pocket quite a lot on this film as we continue to watch it.
Yeah, and another thing to know is he's going up against Ronnie Stanley, who's a very good left tackle. So the competition's there, man. I mean, like this isn't like he's going up against a bum left tackle. He's going up against one of the best in the game, and that's what you want to see, man. Like him just coming up big in those moments. You can see that effort, that pursuit on the edge. Nice job. He really completely avoids that little route there by the tight end. Lamar has to get rid of it fast. The offensive line really just could not handle those interior pass rushers. Leo and Dexter Lawrence coming at you, man. It's tough. I mean, you can see Kayvon Thibodeaux's coming for him. If he holds on to that ball, that's a sack right there. Again, he's after him. I mean, he's there. He's so fast. Just look how fast he is. I mean, this is their tight end trying to block him. There's just a stand a chance.
He nearly got his first sack right there. Just the tight end actually did a great job just pushing the pocket past him, or pushing him past the pocket rather. And Lamar Jackson also just has such great awareness, able to step up there. Some lesser talented quarterbacks might drift a little bit further back, and Kayvon Thibodeaux gets home for the sack there. But tight end does a decent job on Thibodeaux on this rep. But again, I like the way that he's able to turn his body after he gets pushed away from the pocket. He is able to make a recovery and start to pressure Lamar Jackson, force him to flush to his left, his weak side, and throw up a pass that gets batted and nearly intercepted.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how Xavier McKinney is going up against Ronnie Stanley right here too. Got to give him credit for that one. He kind of got bodied, but it's fine. Trying to get a little bull rush going there. Incomplete pass by Lamar. Lamar has not been accurate the last couple of weeks. He's missed a lot of throws.
Yeah, he seems to be going through the motions. The Baltimore Ravens are beginning to struggle because of it, but it almost feels like he might not be trusting his offensive line. I see a lot of quick passes. He's not getting his feet set. It seems like he's feeling the pressure on most of these plays, even when it's not there, and just getting a little skittish in the pocket. I love Lamar Jackson, love his game, but definitely something he's going to need to work on.
Absolutely. I don't know how he gets out of some of these.
Now, that was a great rep by Kayvon Thibodeaux. He was really active on that one in coverage and as a pass rusher there. I mean, he chipped on a release for two receivers and then pressures the quarterback and nearly bats down the pass. That was a pretty impressive rep right there.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man. They're asking him to do a lot. He dropped into coverage a couple times too, actually.
Yeah, he did.
This is
He's
a great
been really
throw.
active. Wink Martindale already trusting his rookie pass rusher, and this was the play. That blitz package was just some of the craziest stuff that I've ever seen. Dexter Lawrence playing middle linebacker alongside Kayvon Thibodeaux. This is just bizarre. If I was Lamar Jackson, I'd be like, yeah, I'm instantly just dumping this off into the flat. Like I'm not even waiting for these guys to come after me. Let me just get rid of this thing.
Interesting. He runs the stunt because Kayvon Thibodeaux's running that stunt there too. I mean, Wink, I'll tell you what, he's getting creative, man. We saw some creative stuff in Baltimore. He's taking it to a new level right now.
Bro, just look at Dexter Lawrence on that play. If you could just back it up, the way that he just bulldozes into the center, like the way that he just was on the play where he was playing middle linebacker, he was basically just running straight, and it was like a train running after him, man. That was actually some of the freakiest stuff that I've ever seen on a football field. But right here, wow. I really love Kayvon Thibodeaux's hands on this play. He's just getting around the chip block from a fullback there. Patrick Ricard, one of the best fullbacks in the NFL, does a decent job. But I love how smoothly Kayvon Thibodeaux is able to avoid that contact and start to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. Yeah, he gets around him pretty easily. I mean, Lamar gets the ball out really quick in this game. That's what the Giants have done, though, by the way. Just to pause it for a second, the Giants have really instituted a game plan that forces opposing quarterbacks to get rid of the ball fast. There are not many deep balls that are thrown against the Giants. 0 for 6 Aaron Rodgers was. Lamar Jackson didn't complete any deep passes over 20-plus yards, I don't think. Maybe he had one, if that. But I don't think so. I don't recall any. And you're seeing what the Giants are forcing guys to do. They're forcing quarterbacks to make those quick throws, relying on their corners to make plays in man coverage, and they have been. And you're not going to see as many sacks this way, but you're going to see a lot of hurries. You're going to see a lot of hits. You're going to see a lot of incompletions. And the Giants, this game plan has worked quite well for them up to this point. Oof.
Yeah, I really like that little move there. That's some really quick feet. Kind of looks like, I know it's a basketball term, but a little bit of a Euro step, right? Just kind of that fake in and then out. But that's a great way to get a offensive lineman off balance, to really just fake the inside move, especially because if you've been watching carefully, Kayvon Thibodeaux has done a few inside moves, tried the bull rush on the inside shoulder. So right here, he fakes the inside, then goes outside and is able to just about get to the quarterback here. But Dexter Lawrence had already gotten to the quarterback, forcing Lamar Jackson to make the pass. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is just playing out of his mind right now, bro. Yeah, we should all know how good Kevin Zeitler is in pass protection, and it looks like he's
Got him
holding
spun
Dexter Lawrence
back.
on this play, in my opinion.
Got him spun all the way around. I mean, look, this is a Kayvon Thibodeaux film review, but Dexter Lawrence keeps showing up, man. One, he's a big guy, so it's hard it's hard to miss him. But I mean, he looks faster than anybody else on this field, man. He's getting to the quarterback in the blink of an eye. For a guy of that size, it's pretty incredible to see. Yeah, see how fast he's getting the ball out? He can't hold the ball. He knows they're coming for him. Kayvon Thibodeaux trying to get in there. All right, let's see down in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'm noticing here is how frequently they're chip blocking him. They're sending a lot of extra protection his way on that last play. He got chipped twice, and that seems to be a common theme here. Again, also sending him on some stunts. We mentioned that earlier. Wink Martindale already trusting him to execute the game plan. Again, another play where he was chipped by a fullback. Again, a tight end chipping him here before the offensive tackle takes him. You're seeing this a lot.
Good
They are
point.
just keying in on him. They felt like he was pressuring Lamar Jackson a little too frequently, and they had to send some extra blockers on him.
I mean, yeah, look right there. That's a quarterback hit right there. I mean, that's a very good point. They chipped him probably over 50% of these clips, which clearly, I mean, he's a rookie, guys. This is a pretty good indication that opposing offensive coordinators respect him. They respect his speed. They respect his quality already. And he's a young player. He's barely had any experience in the NFL. I mean, look at the speed there. He gets put to the ground, but he's there in the blink of an eye. It's pretty incredible. It's pretty impressive to see how much offensive coordinators and their game planning around stopping him. Damn, Julian Love looked like a running back.
Yeah, I also just have to say shout out to Julian Love. I mean, that was a great play. I mean, the way that he broke like so many tackles on that play, it was awesome. And again, see another quick pass there. This is in the fourth quarter. They didn't want Lamar Jackson to hold on to the ball. Next play, he does hold on to the ball, and look what happens. They knew that Kayvon Thibodeaux was just inches away from a sack all game long. He was getting after Lamar Jackson. He was so close. So they tried to dial up some quick passing plays, but here you go. At the end, the routes weren't open. Lamar Jackson had to hold on to the ball, and Kayvon Thibodeaux finally gets home. And one thing that I noticed on this play, they lined him up on the opposite side. They gave him an inferior opponent on this play rather than lining him up against Ronnie Stanley, as you pointed out earlier, an awesome offensive tackle. For the fourth quarter, for the final drive of the game, they were like, okay, Kayvon Thibodeaux's been pass rushing great. He's been getting after the quarterback. If he can get a sack here and win us the game, that would be amazing. So let's go ahead, line him up on the other side of the offensive line, get him a better matchup, and see if he gets that sack. And he did exactly that. I mean, it literally took him 2 plays and he got home. So that's really awesome to see. I think that he probably would have had a couple sacks in this game if he wasn't going up against Ronnie Stanley for the majority of it. And also if he wasn't being chip blocked on nearly every single snap. But right here, you see them line him up with a lesser talented offensive tackle on the right side of the Ravens offensive line, who instantly gets home and sacks Lamar Jackson for the game-winning strip. So a really awesome play there. And it kind of makes you think as we move ahead to the next few weeks, he's not going up against Ronnie Stanley every single game. He's not going to be going up against Pro Bowl and all-pro level offensive tackles. There are going to be some games where Kayvon Thibodeaux gets some favorable matchups, and he's already starting to develop, put his game together, get that skill set right, and get after the quarterback. These pressures are going to start turning into sacks on a pretty frequent basis, especially as he starts to face some lesser opponents at those offensive tackle positions. So, again, this is just the start of something new for the Giants. This is the start of something special for Kayvon Thibodeaux, and it's really exciting to watch him develop through the film and see how he progressed throughout this game, just knowing that this is going to be a really great rookie season for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at Jacksonville this upcoming weekend. They have Jawan Taylor at tackle and Cam Robinson, who have both been pretty solid in pass blocking this season, specifically Jawan Taylor, who is, I think he's their left tackle. I'm not totally sure about that, but I can see right now. He's the right tackle. Apologies. So Taylor's the right tackle. Cam Robinson's their left tackle. They've been pretty solid up to this point. But I wanted to point out specifically in this clip that not only is Kayvon Thibodeaux, look what Leonard Williams does to Kevin Zeitler. Kevin Zeitler is having his hands full today. Completely just manhandles Kevin Zeitler. He's tossing him around like a rag doll. If you're an opposing offensive line, you don't want to see Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence as the two guys you have to block. I mean, 1v1, it's a handful, man. Then you have the outside Kayvon Thibodeaux and Azeez Ojulari might be coming back this week too. I mean, Thibodeaux, you see the speed against Makari, who's their backup right tackle. Leonard Williams is destroying Kevin Zeitler like a rag doll. And it's no wonder, like the very moment Lamar Jackson holds on to that ball. And what I like the most about this play is that there's nowhere for him to go. right? There's nowhere. The interior is clogged up. They got Tate Crowder there clogging up the middle. Dexter Lawrence is clogging up. Look, watch what he does here to close this gap. There's a little gap that Lamar could run through here. Watch what Dexter Lawrence does. Right, he just shoves that guy right into the middle and closes that gap. And then Lamar's looking around. Where do I go? And there's nowhere to go. Kayvon Thibodeaux has that extra split second. That's a strip sack, and the Giants win the game because of that. And ultimately, you're seeing if a quarterback holds onto the football a little bit too long, Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to get to you. Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to make a play. And you can also see that Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are really close to the ball as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if these Ojularis are in the mix as well in the near future. But I mean, you're seeing just the absolute electric style of his play. The Ravens, really worked hard to get the ball out quickly. You can see even on the end of the play here, Kayvon Thibodeaux's over here, making sure that he's trying to keep everybody around. He's blocking that ball, making sure they're not going to get there. Len Williams scoops it up. Bam, Giants win. We're 5-1. Worst 5-1 in team football. He does the salsa. Shout out to Victor Cruz. Absolutely awesome. You just love to see it, man. This is a team that is playing their heart out. They're playing lights out football, execution-wise and discipline-wise. And Kayvon Thibodeaux is becoming a big piece of that. So I'd love to hear your perspectives, thoughts below in the YouTube comments. Obviously, he's a very, very electric player, and he's going to have a bright, bright future with this Giants team. As always, make sure to like, subscribe. Really appreciate you guys tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.